Alrighty, we are going to go ahead and take a look at a really good analogy and visual image for the idea of distance and displacement. So the definition for distance is the length of the path from initial position to final position. So where did you start and where did you end? All the different turns and straightaways. What is the different distance from the beginning to the end? That's going to be different than your displacement. Displacement is going to be the difference between the first position and the final position. So where did you start and then where did you end? Similar to distance. However, you are going to be drawing a straight line from the beginning to the end, and that is displacement. Now, drawing baseball diamonds is a great analogy for this. Okay, so go ahead and draw 4 baseball diamonds on your paper. All right, to kind of show the 4 different ones that we are going to do. So our first one is going to be if our batter hits a single. All right, so here's home plate, and our batter hits a single and goes to first base. So the distance, because the distance between each plate is 90 feet. So the distance is going to be 90 feet from beginning to end. Now, what is our displacement? So here is our beginning and here is our end. All right, so our displacement is also 90 feet. So distance and displacement is going to be the same if you are going in a straight line. It's going to be the same if you are in a straight line. Alrighty, so let's take a look at what happens when we hit a double. All right, so let's go ahead and put a double here. And so here is our batter and goes to first base, yay, goes to second base, okay? So the distance that batter is traveling is 90, and 90 is 180 feet. So far, so good? All right, now what about displacement? Well, this is where we started, and this is where we ended. So we have to draw a straight line from where we started to where we ended. And that amount, the distance between second base and home plate, so the displacement, and I'll just tell you this because who would know this in your normal life, right? The displacement, so the distance between second base and home plate is 127 feet. So as soon as you no longer are traveling in a straight line, your distance and displacement are not going to be the same, okay? Now, let's take a look at what happens when we hit a triple. Okay? All right. All right, so here's our batter at home plate. First base, second base, third base, ends up here. So what is the distance traveled? The distance traveled will be 90, 180, 270. So the distance traveled is 270 feet because the distance between each plate is 90. All right, now let's take a look at our displacement, however. This is where we ended. This is where we started. So remember, distance and displacement, displacement is a straight line between where we started to where we ended. So our displacement here is going to be what? It's going to be 90 feet. Okay? All right, now what happens when we hit a home run? Okay, so first, second, gathered. Yay, crowd goes wild. Okay, so our distance at our batter ran was 90, 180, 270, 360 feet. Now, what about our displacement? This is where our batter started, and this is also where our batter ended. So our displacement is going to be what? It's going to be 0. 0 is the displacement. When you start and end in the exact same location, the displacement, which is the difference between where you started and where you ended, since you started and ended at the same place, is going to be 0. So think about running around the block at your house or running around the track. If you start and end at the exact same spot, the displacement is going to be 0. All right? So make sure that you are filling in, stopping this video so that you have all of these calculations. All righty? So this will be something that will help you with this idea of distance and displacement. All right?